I know of a mother who said that 3 times a day she visits and takes care of the poor. And she has 5 poor people in her life that she dedicates herself to. She said her husband and 4 kids. Every day when she feeds them their meals, when he comes home from work, when they come home from school, she says that's her job. Those are her poor. Because we hear in the prophet today, Isaiah, that we're trying to do so many things to please God, and we complain that God doesn't hear us. He's deaf. And many times he's dumb in the sense that he doesn't speak to us either. And the Lord reproaches us through the prophet saying that your language is not my language, and your sacrifices aren't the sacrifices I'm looking for. Even though they're intense penances, as the Pharisees, they would fast and give alms twice a week. And I know of an author who said the only difference between ourselves and the Pharisees is that we don't fast and give alms twice a week. See, the difference between ourselves and the Pharisees is the heart. It needs to be. And St. Augustine says, it's more valuable 1 tear shed over the passion of Christ than many days of fasting on bread and water. Because in the gospel he says that he's our bridegroom, and his wedding we have up there. He spouses himself with us on Calvary, and it's some wedding. When all the attendants that were there on Calvary were mocking him, bar his mother, St. John, and the pious women, they were spitting on his face. They gave him reverence with a crown and bending a knee in mockery. And he couldn't even breathe. You see, his wedding was celebrated as a slow death through suffocation. And this is God we're speaking about. And the whole time, it's for you. It's not for humanity, it's not for mankind, it's for you. So when you meditate the Passion, you shed a tear on what your God has done for you, what my God has done for me. You shed a tear and you say, my God, who am I that you would go to such an extent that you can't even breathe and you're suffocating on a cross, but you're thinking of me. And that's where the tears come, and that's where the contrite heart comes, and that's where Lent has all its meaning, because we're preparing ourselves to meet him. Because the wedding was celebrated so that we may participate in the banquet. The banquet is heaven, where we will be satisfied and our soul will rest for all of eternity at the price that he paid for on Calvary. So may our Blessed Mother, who interceded at Cana, and she said, Lord, they don't have wine, they don't have joy, they don't have you, do something. And he says, woman, it's not come yet. The moment hasn't come. She knows what he wants, and she says to us, do whatever he tells you. So what he's going to tell us today is that we take care of the poor that are most close to us, which could be a husband, it could be a son, it could be a daughter. It's the person who's closest to you. That's the sacrifice he's looking for, that I may attend to him and free him from anything that he's suffering, so that I may enter into communion with God and finally hear his voice. Amen.